You see that it takes time to build a tapestry, even if it's not a really planned tapestry. If you're just doing whatever like I am here, it takes a lot of time because each time you're putting in a weft thread, you're squashing it right down, so it becomes very condensed. So tapestry is a great weaving activity to do when you have a lot of time, but also it's an easy one to just do a little bit at a time and then come back to it when you feel like it. You certainly don't have to sit there all day to try and finish a tapestry. Alright, this is very subtle, these colour changes, but I'm really liking them. There's enough contrast between those blues that I can see that lovely curve coming in there, and that's just what I want, so I'm happy. It looks like I wanted it to look. So I say that I'm not planning this project, and I'm not on paper, but I have visions in my mind of what I would like it to look like, or at least what I would like certain sections to look like. So when they turn out the way you want them to look, it's very good. It's rewarding. And sometimes they turn out completely different, and that's okay too. So going back, and I'm basically going to keep doing this, stepping this lighter blue back until I get near the edge, and that's when I will phase that blue out. I'll definitely bring it back in. It's one of my favorite blues. But I'm just going to do this little section of it here, phase it out, bring it back in when I want to, when I feel like it. That's what this tapestry is like. Let's just do it when I feel like it. Okay. So you see I'm edging closer to the edge, back to the right hand side of the warp each time. And that means I'm bringing my blue across further in order to meet up. And heading back, same on this side. I'm making sure that I wrap that extra warp thread right there. So I'm seeing something else interesting while I'm doing this, and that is that this fingering weight wool is much friendlier with this warp thread, tapestry warp thread, than the Aran weight is. Interesting. That doesn't mean I'm not going to use Aran weight, because it's showing through quite a few spots of the warp thread, and as I said, for this piece I like that. I mean, what does a starry night look like? It looks like it's speckled, the sky's speckled, and that's what this is looking like, so it's all good. I like it. I'm happy. This time I'm just going to go to here. And working back to the edges once again. Okay, I'm almost ready to completely phase this little light blue out. For now, I'm just going to bring it in 2 warp threads this time. If you have questions at any stage, please do ask me in the comments section. And as I said, I recommend that you go and watch the other freestyle tapestry videos as well, because I'm sort of not repeating some of the information that I've already given in those. So if anything's not making sense, or sometimes I miss things because I'm just not thinking about the fact that some of you who are brand new to doing all of this kind of thing might not be cottoning onto some things. So make sure you ask me in the comments. There are no stupid questions. All your questions are valid. All right, so I've got to take those back, which is really good timing because I'm about to run out of the dark blue yarn. Don't worry, there's more. There's always more. And take my little light blue back to the edge. This is definitely going to make a comeback. Love the colour. And I'm just going to cut that a little bit shorter. Then I'll be able to tuck my edges in. Okay. Edges tuck in. What I'm going to do now is, my husband very kindly is doing the homeschool morning with the kids this morning so that I could do this with you. But we agreed that we would all have morning tea together. So that's what I'm going to go and do now. And today actually is a special feast day in our church. It's the feast day of St. Joseph. So we're going to have a nice special morning tea to celebrate. I'll see you back very, very soon. All right, I think next I'm going to bring in a little bit of black, like I mentioned before, just to do a little bit of outlining. I'm in the down shed now. And I actually don't want to bring a whole line of black across because I don't want this very concentrated line. So I think I will just bring it into about 3/4 of the way across. Yeah. Change to the up shed. Tuck my tail in. I've also weighted those pesky warp threads that were bothering me before, so they're much better now. Oh, I didn't beat, so beat. And then I need to take that one back to the other side because I can't just leave it hanging in the middle. You know, I'm starting to think I might be better off beating when I'm still in one of the sheds to try and beat it down a little bit further. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So if you're having trouble beating your weft threads down enough, try engaging the heddle in a shed. In this case, I'm in the up shed. Now I'm moving to the down. All right, I'm going to cut that black and tuck the tail in because I really just wanted it for that tiny little accent there. Now I'm going to bring in my hand spun and see how that looks on the loom. I really don't have a plan for it. but I'm just going to see how it looks. And then I want to tuck that tail in. Definitely better beading in the upshed because the warp threads are much tighter. Okay, so I think I'll do a couple of rows of this nice hand spun just on their own. It is quite thin in places. I'm not the world's best spinner, so it's a little bit uneven, but I don't mind that. And so yeah, I was thinking to do a couple of rows of that and then bring in something else to meet up with it at some point to get some more curves going in there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep beading in the upshed because it packs in much better. So you may want to do that as well. Or at least changing from one shed to another. So I'm in the down shed at the moment. Okay, so if I bubble that and then I go straight to the up shed, then it's easier to pack in because it tightens up with the change of shed. Now these colours are lovely, but they're not offering very much contrast to the other colours that I have in there. I can see later in this ball that there's a lot of lighter blue, but I won't come across that for a little while yet. So okay, I'll go to the other side and then I'll bring in another colour from this side, I think. I still don't want to introduce really any yellows for a little while yet. Because I did want them higher up in the tapestry. And I haven't decided either how large this is going to be, but just from looking here, I think about there would be good. I don't want a really long tapestry. So, okay, I'll bring this to here, around halfway across. And then I have to decide what I'm going to introduce from this side. Well, I want to keep going with the blues, so I just want something maybe with a little more contrast at the moment. Maybe I'll try the silk. That's quite a bit lighter. We'll see how it goes. The silk is about a light worsted weight and it's hand dyed as well. Let's pop that tail in. So now I'm going to be doing very much the same as what I was doing before when I was meeting my lighter blue with my black, wasn't it? No, it was my lighter blue with my darker blue. That's right. I just looked down at the piece and saw where the colours meet. So that's what I'm doing again, just the same thing, meeting the two colours but not joining them. I'm not really sure how much I want to use of this light blue at the moment because it obviously stands out quite a bit. I think what I'll do is I'll build it up a little bit here so it's thicker here, but just a thin wisp sort of coming into the middle there so that it's not too dominant, and then I'll take my hand spun to meet it. Oh, I'm getting a messy ball here. I didn't actually go through this yarn and put it into a proper bowl before I started. Okay. The silk looks nice though, because it's got this lovely sheen against all of the wool. I have so many small amounts of all different types of yarns left over from previous projects, and especially now that I spend most of my time making classes for my online weaving school, all kinds of projects, so I always have heaps of leftovers, which is a good thing, because when I come to do projects like this, I don't even have to think about my yarn. I just go and look in all the places where I've stashed my yarn. And don't ask me how many places there are quite a few. All different places. And I keep telling my husband, you know, one day when I have a studio, this won't be a problem. I can have them all in one place. Yeah, one day. But anyway, I was talking about my stash, wasn't I? So I can just go to my stash and just pick out colours, which is a great thing. All right, I'm liking this meeting of these blues here, and the difference in the fibres as well. I'm liking that very much. Oh, what did I do there? That one in the wrong shed or something? Maybe I didn't bring that one in to meet it. All right. Figure out things on the fly here. Also getting a big tangle here. I'll sort it out. So I think I forgot to take the silk back when I change sheds, perhaps. That's okay. It's there aren't many rules with this, so we don't have to worry too much. Okay, so I'm going to take that one back now, make sure I do this time. I'm going to cut that because I've got a tangled mess with my ball. So I do want to keep going with this yarn, but I'm going to have to sort out this tangle. Alright, that ball is sorted. It's now manageable. I'm going to bring that across a fair way this time, because as I said, I want to build up that edge of the blue silk a little bit. Over in this corner. The silk's also becoming unruly. So I'm really just giving away my ill-preparedness and the messiness of my stash. So I'll take them back. Yeah, I really do like that silk. I think that looks just lovely there. I thought it might be too much, but so you just don't know until you try these things. And, you know, with weaving, if you don't like something, you can always unweave it, and that's pretty easy to do. It's not necessarily fun to do, but it is easy to do. Okay, I'm going to bring that hand spun over again. Pop the silk through to meet it. Just going to keep going with this idea. Then I think I will probably outline it with a little bit of black again. Just like I did down here, I put through a partial line of black, And I like the effect that that has had. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the virus. If you have just had enough of talking, thinking, hearing about it, you can feel free to pop the volume down while I'm chatting for the next couple of minutes. I'm not going to dwell on it, but there's just a couple of things I wanted to share with you. And I completely understand if you have had enough of that and you are just here for the weaving. No problems. Turn the volume down now and turn it back up in a minute or two. So I just wanted to share with you all some things that are helping me through this time and my family, and tell you a little bit about what we're doing as well. So we are self-isolating, and we have been all week, even though it's not mandatory here yet. Probably will be soon, but we decided to do that at the start of the week because my husband is in the high risk category, so we wanted to be extra careful, and also because of our experience with our son being so sick 3 years ago, that makes us extra cautious as well. So we're going really well at home. Everything is good. We are very blessed in the fact that we already have a really strong home routine because we do homeschool, because I work from home and my husband is not currently working. So it hasn't been a really difficult transition for us. And as long as we can get out at some stage to restock food supplies, we'll be fine. But we can go quite a bit longer without having to do that at this point. Okay, so the things that are helping me, first of all, faith and prayer, because I don't believe that I personally can do anything or get through anything without my faith and my belief in God and prayer. The second thing is we are a television-free family. We don't have a TV in the home. And I think at this point, if we did, that it would be making me a bit more anxious, because the media, although they are very helpful in getting information out there, they also have a particular way of delivering information that doesn't sit right with me and can be disturbing and cause anxiety to some people. And I think probably if I had the news on for a large part of the day, I think I would be experiencing more anxiety about this. So I recommend to you that if you do have the television on a lot, especially at this time when a lot of people are at home and self-quarantining, don't let it control you. You control it. So you can choose when you feel like watching the news or getting an update. And it's really important, of course, to get updates. And we do so online. We read news articles and get latest updates that way. Because, of course, that's important information to tell us what to do next. And, things are changing every day. So we need to be abreast of new regulations and all that kind of thing. But you can certainly get a lot of updates and not have to have that switched on. Same goes for the radio. If you listen to the radio, you don't have to have that switched on all the time, because in a way it ends up controlling you, and then you don't have anything else in your mind except what's happening, and that's not healthy. The third thing is, obviously, I'm weaving, and I think that weaving is a brilliant way to nurture yourself, nurture your mental health in this time especially, to be creative and be productive and feel like you're really doing something good with your time, and also as a distraction. it's an excellent distraction, and I discovered this when our son was in hospital 3 years ago, that weaving was an excellent distraction. And a project like this is really good because you don't have to overthink it. So it's not taxing on your brain at all. It's not stressful. It's just calming, relaxing, and going with the flow and just doing whatever and doing what you think and having a bit of fun too. Because even though times are difficult, we still need to do our best to enjoy life and use our talents and, you know, have that real purpose. So that's all I'm going to say about it at the moment, because I know there's a lot of commentary on it, and I don't think a lot needs to be said. So back to this. I'm really liking these colours, how they're changing through here. So this handspun has ended up being very good for this. I'm probably going to keep using it quite a bit. I have another tapestry going too on my tapestry loom. I'm building a little town. Once again, it's something I didn't do a lot of planning for, but I did do a drawing and drew onto the warp and that sort of thing. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I shared pictures of it, and it's not finished yet, but yeah, that's another tapestry that I'm working on at the moment. One of my goals for this year as a weaver has been to improve my tapestry, because I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect somewhere, that I know what I want to do as a tapestry weaver, but just not quite there with the skills yet. And I know at some point I will get there, but I just feel like I'm missing some crucial things. I haven't made some important connections yet, and I just need to keep practicing until those connections are made. That's what I think anyway. I hope that it all comes together. I'm sure it will. All right. I'm not quite sure at the moment whether I should keep going. Oh, that's right. I was going to bring in the black, wasn't I? All right, let's do that. So I'll take these two back to the sides again. And I'll bring in a little black accent. Cut a couple of tails there. And I'll tuck those into the next shed.